I was halfway through passing the mashed potatoes when my phone buzzed under the table, the faint vibration almost lost in the clinking cutlery and overlapping voices. It was one of those Sunday dinners that was supposed to be warm, familiar, the kind of evening where the smell of roasted chicken and fresh bread made you forget everything else. But the moment I glanced down at my phone, the room around me seemed to freeze. "Don't eat. Just trust me." My mom had sent it. She was sitting directly across from me. For a moment, my mind couldn't make sense of it. Just 4 words, but they hit me like a punch to the chest. I looked up at her, thinking maybe this was a joke, but she wasn't smiling. Her face was pale, her lips pressed together so tightly they were almost white, and her eyes were fixed on me in a way that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. She glanced down at my plate, then back at me. I could feel my heart beating harder, my fork hovering above the food but frozen midair. Everyone else kept talking. My dad was telling my uncle about a new deal at work, my aunt was laughing a little too loudly at something, and my younger cousin was scrolling his phone with one hand while eating with the other. The smell of food, once comforting, suddenly felt heavy, almost suffocating. I slid my phone under the table and typed back quickly. "Why?" Her reply came almost instantly, "Not now. Just don't put it in your mouth." My throat tightened. I lowered my fork without drawing attention, pretending to take a sip of water. That's when I noticed she wasn't eating either. Her plate was untouched. My cousin, on the other hand, had already eaten half of his serving. I felt a spike of panic. My mom's eyes darted toward him, then back to me. A new message appeared on my screen. "Whatever you do, don't let your cousin eat anymore." My breath caught. I tried to casually nudge his leg under the table, but he just kept chewing, barely looking up. My mom's jaw tightened as she reached for her phone again. A moment later, my cousin's phone buzzed. He read it, slowed, then quietly set his fork down. No one else noticed. The chatter, the laughter, the clinking, it all went on as if nothing was wrong. But at that table, there was a silent thread of fear between the 3 of us. The next half hour was torture. Every bite someone else took made my stomach twist. My mom kept her face neutral, her hands folded, but I could see the tension in her shoulders. My aunt, who had cooked most of tonight's meal, was watching her too, in a way that felt sharp. Like she knew something. The air in the room was thick. Finally, dessert arrived, apple pie with melting vanilla ice cream. My aunt served each plate herself. I noticed she lingered just a second longer when she set mine down. I didn't touch it. Neither did Mom. My cousin made an excuse about being too full. My aunt's smile didn't reach her eyes. When the evening wrapped up and we headed to the car, I was already bracing myself. We got in, doors shut. Mom locked them immediately. She took a deep breath, her hands gripping the wheel before she spoke. There was something in the food. My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "When I went into the kitchen earlier, I saw your aunt pouring something from a small brown bottle into the mashed potatoes and then into the pie filling. I didn't recognize the label, but it wasn't for cooking." My cousin's voice shook from the back seat. She's been mad at Mom and Dad for months about the property dispute. Pieces started falling into place. The passive-aggressive comments at past dinners, the way she'd been excluded from certain family decisions, the coldness that had crept into her tone. I stared out the window, the streetlights blurring as we drove. The idea that we'd just sat through dinner with someone who might have been trying to poison us made my skin crawl. Mom's voice was steady, but I could hear the undercurrent of fear. "We're going to the police first thing in the morning. For now, say nothing." I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, the way she'd smiled when handing out dessert. The next morning, Mom and I went to the police. We gave them everything. What she'd seen, the messages, even the leftover food we'd quietly taken home for later. They sent it to the lab. The waiting was unbearable. Days passed. Then the call came. The food had traces of a toxic chemical, one used in certain pesticides. In small doses, it could cause severe illness. In larger amounts, worse. My hands went cold holding the phone. That night, detectives came to speak with my mom. They asked her to wear a wire to the next family gathering to see if my aunt would slip, say something. I hated the idea, but Mom agreed. The next Sunday we went back. Everything looked the same table, the same chairs, the same smell of roasted chicken. My aunt greeted us with her usual forced warmth. Mom played her part perfectly, even taking small bites this time. I watched every move my aunt made. Near the end of dinner, Mom excused herself to the kitchen. My aunt followed. I inched closer, pretending to grab more bread. Through the doorway, I heard her voice, low, sharp. It should have worked last time. You got lucky. My heart slammed in my chest. Mom stayed calm. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb, my aunt said, a bitter laugh in her tone. You think you can take everything from me and get away with it? That was all the detectives needed. They came in from the side door, badges out. My aunt froze, her face draining of color. She was arrested on the spot. The rest of the night was a blur, questions, statements, flashing lights outside the window. Later, I sat in my room, staring at my phone. I scrolled back to that first message, don't eat. Just trust me. For words that had saved my life. But the twist didn't end there. Weeks later, as the case built in court, we found out she hadn't acted alone. Someone else in the family, someone we still saw at gatherings, had helped her plan it. And the worst part? We didn't know who. Even now, every dinner feels different. Every smile is suspect. And every time my phone buzzes at the table, I feel that same cold knot in my stomach, wondering if the next message will be the one that saves me again.